He said,
Mm-hmm.
art only comes from the female body. And I was just like, what?
Wow.
What kind of stupid statement is that? Like, what are you talking about?
Welcome to Art in the Raw, the podcast that explores the bold, unapologetic, and often unseen art of queer creators. I'm your host, David Smith. Each episode, we sit down with queer artists from different disciplines to explore their inspirations, their struggles, and the narratives that shape their work. Hey there, welcome back to Art in the Raw. I'm your host, David Smith. Today's guest is someone whose journey into photography is as raw and vulnerable as the art he creates. Alberto Leon didn't set out to be a photographer. In fact, just a few years ago, he was stuck in a life that didn't fulfill him. But after a few solo dates, a diary, and a whole lot of self-reflection, he decided to take a chance. What started as an Instagram post turned into the Naked Project, a deeply personal exploration of queer identity, vulnerability, and beauty through nude male photography. In this conversation, Alberto shares how photographing 7 strangers, all naked, became the moment that cracked his heart wide open, and how that rush of emotion changed everything. This episode is an intimate look at what it means to find your calling, not through a plan, but through a feeling. As always, links to Alberto's work are included in the show notes. Be sure to check them out after the episode. Let's dive in. All right. Welcome to the podcast, Alberto. I'm looking forward to the conversation today and learning more about the Naked Project. How are you today?
Hey, David, thank you so much. I'm very good. I'm a little bit nervous. I'm a little bit excited. I don't know. I'm just ready to share my experience. I'm happy. I'm happy to do this. Thank you.
Well, I'm excited to hear it from you. So tell me a little about who is Alberto Leon.
Alberto Leon. You know, my full name actually is Jesus Alberto Suarez Leon. But about 5 years ago, I was working, I was just working. I was just not doing anything with my life. Like just being, I think I was just floating through life. And
Were you working as a photographer?
I was not working as a photographer
Okay.
at the moment. I was working for this American company, and I didn't have any hobbies. I didn't have any, I don't know. It was just like my life was just boring, I think. And then I remember I started having dates with myself. I would go to these wine places and stuff, get like a little glass of wine, and then I would take my diary, God, because I write a lot. I have a diary. And then I started like, doing therapy with myself and saying, hey, you're living a life that I'm not enjoying. I'm basically like a number. You know what I mean? Like, this is not what
Cog in the wheel.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, I want to do something fun with my life. So then that's how I started experimenting, and it started like a thought process where I was just, literally asking myself week after week on those dates, like, what do you want to do with your life? What do you have any interests? Do you have any likes that any hobbies that you want to start, doing? And that's how the Naked Project came about. I remember clearly writing a list of, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 things that I liked, and then just narrowing down to maybe 1 or 2, and then at some point I was like, all right, I know I like photography. I've always been a huge fan of photography, but do I see myself being a photographer? And then at some point I was just like, you know what, maybe not. But let's just
Well,
give it
hold
a
it.
go.
So take me back to the moment that you realized photography was your calling. Like what triggered that? What made you think this is what I want to do?
Right. All right. Let me, because I'm about to give you, that little, I was like, I love photography. I love, going to, uh, galleries and just seeing like photography, and I love
Uh-huh.
photography, but I never saw myself as a photographer. But then I was like, you know what, Alberto, take it as a hobby. Just buy a camera, and just let's see how it goes, And then when I was doing these dates with myself, these writing processes, I thought, what do I want to do that fulfills me? And I
Mm-hmm.
always loved nude photography,
Mm-hmm.
as a viewer.
Uh-huh.
I always loved it, but I always saw female nudes. And I heard this from my art teacher when I was like 18 years old or something like that. And he said,
Mm-hmm.
art only comes from the female body. And I was just like, what?
Wow.
What kind of stupid statement is that? Like, what are you talking about? And that stuck with me, and I was just like, no, I'm gonna do nude photography, but I'm gonna do male nude photography, and I'm gonna make it look so beautiful and so um um I don't know if the word in English is sensible or like sensitive, because if you see in photography or in art, you always see men as kings and gladiators and big personas and stuff. And I was just like, no, I want to see like a more vulnerable side of the male
So
body.
you want to highlight the vulnerability.
I do. And I was just like, all right. So I bought the camera when I was on a trip to Chile. And this is how I decided to become a photographer. Because I remember I posted on Instagram. I hesitated a lot about buying the camera, but then I woke up one morning and I was just like, can I say bad words here? Yeah.
You can
No.
say whatever you want.
All right. I was just like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna buy the camera today. And my partner at the time was like, are you sure you want to do this? We are gonna do it. Let's go buy the camera. And once I came back home, I live in Uruguay, in
Mm-hmm.
Montevideo. I remember that I posted something on Instagram, and it said like, I want to experiment with nude photography. If anybody wants to be a part of it, just hit me up. And I thought literally nobody was gonna even answer to my message. That was on a Thursday. Next Saturday, like 2, 3 days later, I had 7 guys in my house, butt naked, and I didn't even know how to work the camera. And I was just like, what
What
the
a
fuck?
great learning experience, though,
It
right?
was it was when people started confirming and people started actually, just being curious about this. I was on YouTube watching videos like for hours. I was like, how do I work a camera? But then afterwards, literally after the last model left and we did like a whole beautiful photo shoot, for like hours, I was taking pictures for hours and hours and hours and hours. We were all naked. I remember when the last person left, I had such a rush that I started crying, and I didn't stop crying
Oh, wow.
for hours. And then I called my brother, and I was like, Alejandro. My brother's name is Alejandro. I was like, Alejandro, I found something that I feel so good with this. Like, I created such beautiful things, and I want to keep doing it. I think this is something that's calling me. And he said, all right,
I
so
love
keep
that.
doing it. Keep doing it. And then from then on, I never stopped. Never stopped. I hope that answered your question. Maybe it was too long.
Absolutely. It's a
Right.
beautiful story.
It was a beautiful story. And I always remember it. And you know what? Something about photography is that I have a model every month, more or less,
Uh-huh.
a new model every month. And every time a new model comes, I get just as nervous as the first time. So I love that because it gives me that because it's like a new experience for me. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
for me, it's like I don't see it as a job. You know what I mean?
It's
I don't see
more
it
of
as
a
a hobby
passion.
either because it's a passion. There you go. It's more of a
Yeah.
passion. So I always feel like I have to take care of it. I have to. I feel fortunate every time I do photography. So
I
yeah,
love that.
yeah,
So you live in Uruguay. Did I say
yes,
that right?
yeah, yeah.
What do you think about living there has shaped the way you see the human body in art? You mentioned your art teacher said, art comes from the female. I assume your art teacher was in Uruguay as well.
No, okay, well, continue.
Did you grow up there?
No, 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 no. I am originally from Venezuela,
Okay.
and I lived in the States for 7 years or something like that. When I was a
Uh-huh.
kid, I did middle school and a little bit of high school, and then I came to Uruguay, which is where I live.
Okay.
So yeah,
So
I've
what
been
about living in those different regions do you think shaped your or influenced the way you see the human body and how you want others to how you want to portray it to show it to others?
right. I think the big difference between the three countries, actually, I would say Venezuela, the US, and Uruguay. The thing about Uruguay that I like is that there's no religion mixed with politics or society.
Hmm.
So, like, there's no influence of religiousness here in this country. So
Hmm.
therefore, people are a little more liberal with their bodies and with their moral compass. Like their
Hmm.
moral compass is not the same as in the U.S. Whereas if I say something about God or Satan, people go crazy because I'm not going to heaven, I'm not going to hell, whatever. Like this doesn't matter here.
Yeah.
Nobody gives a shit about that here. So people are more open to this type of ideas, as they are more open to open relationships and experimenting with female. Like you see gay men or even my friends. Oh, I had sex with a woman yesterday. I'm like, excuse me? Like, what are you talking about? Like, so people here are more open when it comes to that because they have a different moral compass. They're
They
not that.
don't put themselves in the same boxes.
So when it comes to nude photography, people are very willing to try something new.
For those who aren't familiar, tell us what the Naked Project is in your own
Right.
words, and what's the core idea behind it?
Well, for me, the Naked Project um, it's about vulnerability. It's about sharing stories of of the human body.
Hmm.
Something that happens to me in every single session is that it's like therapy for me. Because you cannot lie when you're naked. Like if a person is naked, you cannot lie. You share your deepest thoughts. You share another side of you that when you have clothes on, people don't normally share. Um, and that's something that I value. I'm not going to say models because they're not models, they're just participants. I want them to know that it's instead of just coming here for a photo shoot, it's more of a community. I've had very great relationships and friendships with these participants. They're my
Hmm.
friends. Like we become friends afterwards, and I want people to
That's
think
awesome.
that, yeah, I love that because we connect on a deeper level than, I don't know, and people tend to share something deeper when they're naked. And sometimes I also get naked myself, and we just bond, and sometimes we take pictures together. And yeah, I think it's a project about creating community, and it's about being able to know that you can be vulnerable here with me, or in I don't know, in your photography or the way that you want to show yourself.
Yeah. What do you think it is about stripping the clothes and the facade off that enables people to be more vulnerable and more authentic and honest?
You know what? From experience, there's something about a sense of relief. I'm gonna say that when people come here. I don't know with what expectations, and sometimes they even tell me like, I don't know what I'm doing here. So I think it's like a beautiful thing for them to just take it all off and just let loose. You know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
so people can just come, relax, unwind, have a great conversation, and talk about and also be heard.
Hmm.
Because I always tend to listen to them a lot, what they want to share, and according to what they want to share, it's how I portray them. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
If they see themselves as maybe they're going through something and they want to share it, so I tell them, "Oh, so let's work with these poses. Or just keep that pose right there." Sometimes they're just posing for me, and then they share something, and their posture changes. So, and according to what they're telling me, I'm like, all right, so just keep it there, just stay there. I take a photo or two, and then we keep talking for an hour or two, and then I take another photo. So I think there's a sense of relief that taking your clothes off really, and it happens to me too. I mean, it happens, I think, to all of us after we have like a long day of work, and then we come home. This is like a ritual for me. I come home and I take my clothes off, I take a shower, and it's just like a sense of, all right, I can just be me, I can just be myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that is the sense that I have with my project, that people can come here and just be themselves, share or not share. Sometimes we don't even talk, we just put some music and enjoy ourselves because that's what we feel like doing.
Was there ever a time when a shoot or in a shoot when it went in a completely unexpected direction, but the result was better than what you'd originally planned?
You know what? Yes. And thank you for that
Tell me about that.
question. Thank you for that question. I used to do, I always, all right. So there's something about the Naked Project that I do, um, that, I mean, I talk to the models or the participants, but I meet them the day of the photo shoot. We don't meet
Hmm.
before. We don't arrange anything. We just meet the day, and I try to, uh, I don't see their profiles on Instagram. I just try. I want to be. I mean, it's just like a date,
Hmm.
So I don't do my research. When they come, they come, and it's just like, all right. So let's just see. So this one time, I I wanted to kind of, you know, mix it up a bit, and I told two guys to come. So it was like three unknown people in my house. Like we didn't know each other,
Hmm.
and they were doing the photo shoot, and I was clearly taking the photos. But I was in my head. I was completely in my head because I was like, "Fuck!" Like, what if they don't get along? Because I get along with them, via chat, but I don't know
Hmm.
if they're gonna get along. They both knew that they were gonna meet each other, but I didn't share each like
They didn't know who each other were ahead of time.
exactly. And then I told them, "Hey guys, so this is all right. It's like a blind date for the three of us.
Hmm.
Let's just go ahead and do it." And they started, touching each other, talking to each other, posing together. And I will give them like, some guide, "Hey guys, just how about you do this?" I have a bunch of books of male nudes and positions and ideas. And I tried to give them ideas. And then at some point, I felt as though everything took off and I just didn't have to do anything. I was just behind the camera, and they started doing their own thing. They started doing their own thing. Na, 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 na. It went and I felt like such a synergy, such an energy in the room. So they left,
Uh-huh.
and then I did the editing. The editing was beautiful, but then so it happens that the Museum of Contemporary Art opened. They did like an opening for new artists, and
In
I was
Montevideo?
in Montevideo, and I was selected amongst like 500 people. Only 35 people made it, and I was one of them with those pictures. I was like, and
Oh, wow.
I named. Oh my god, I get goosebumps. And I named the work Synergy. I don't know if synergy means the same in English. It's like
Yeah, I think so.
right. So yeah, so I made it to the National Museum of Contemporary Art because of that photo shoot. That was just like mind blowing.
You didn't have any plans for it to go that direction.
No, and
It
not at all.
just
For me, it was a
kind
test.
of
I mean, for me, it was like
organically went there.
yeah. For me, it was just something new. Let me try something new. Let's see how this goes. And I ended up being, and then that's when
That's
my
beautiful.
work, yeah, that's when my work it started being a little bit more recognized here in Uruguay. Now, like when like people started like seeing, oh, you're Alberto, like the new photographer. I was like, how do you know me? You then they did something on the news because of the nudes and stuff, and then I don't know. We started. Well, I say we because for me it's like a whole bunch of people and me. Um, and I don't know. I think it just started growing from there. So I think it was a beautiful. It was a beautiful, unexpected.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was amazing. Well,
So, if we compared your first nude photo shoot to your most recent one, what's the biggest difference? What do you think changed in you as an artist from that first shoot to today?
I think I just have a better camera. Honestly,
You don't think you're just a better photographer?
do you know what? I think I do photography with my feelings. So I think that's my moment to just let my feelings flow,
Hmm.
and I'm not aware of my. It's weird because I work with the camera, but
Hmm.
I'm not aware of. the techniques of a camera. I don't feel as if I'm a better. I feel like if I made a good solid relationship, or a good, if the person felt comfortable, that's my
That's
reward.
success.
Yeah, that's success. I've been in the Naked Project for like 5 years. I
Hmm.
did 3 years by myself, watching YouTube videos, learning how to work a camera. And then I did 2 years in a school, because I was like, all right, teach me something new. And turns out I don't feel like I learned anything. And I don't care about being technical in photography. I just care about photographing and just decompressing and just having a good experience as a photographer. Like, for me, it's not about the technique. It's about how I make people feel. You know what I mean? I don't know if I'm being clear
No,
with
you're
this.
absolutely making sense, and I love that you approach it from an emotional standpoint, and you're thinking about your subject and the connection that you have with your subject in the moment. Do you think that helps you convey a more organic, more natural message about your subject in your photography instead of
Clearly,
focusing so much on whether the light is right or the shadows are right?
I don't care about lights, shadows, any of that. I
Hmm.
just care if the model feels comfortable, then he's going to feel confident, and he's going
Yeah.
to show confidence through his work. So yeah, for me it's more, then again, and I think, you said it right. My I feel successful when the bond, it's well taken care of, and the person is, feels good, and he feels like he had a good experience. For me, that's a win. I mean, technical wise, I don't know how to take a photo. Don't ask me about, yeah, what's your camera lens, your millimeters. I don't know any of that, and I don't care. Like, I know which picture, like which type of lens takes what kind of pictures, but don't be asking me any of that, because I don't care. I mean, I can take. I even have. Well, let me show you this.
Sure.
I even have Polaroids. I've tried everything. Now I'm trying collage.
Oh, wow.
Wait, I don't know if you can see it there, but I'm
Yeah, I
trying
could see
to
it.
do some collages. These are my Polaroids. You know what? So, I mean, my style of photography changes every time. Changes. This project is not about. I don't even think it's about me. It's about them, showing them in the light that they really want to be seen. It's about feeling. It's about human. It's about having a human experience.
I think you're showing that you don't have to necessarily be an expert at the tool that you use to be artistic with that tool.
Clearly, I mean, the moment that I stop, I'm sorry, the moment, like, this is for me. The
Hmm.
moment that I start getting technical with photography, I'm gonna lose passion. I'm gonna lose all that drive. You know, um. So for me, it's like a loose horse. I just let it run, and just the light is gonna just be perfect, or the setting is gonna be. I remember once that we did a beautiful photo shoot, and I have a picture there, and it started pouring. It started raining, but like not raining. It was like a
Hmm.
hurricane,
Oh, wow.
and I was just like, you know what? At first, I was like, my new camera, it's gonna get wet. What am I gonna do? And then at some point, I was just like, you know what? Fuck it. I brought an umbrella, and I was just with my little umbrella, taking 2, 3 photos at the time, stopping. No, no,
But
no.
your
I was
model
just like,
was in the rain.
he was in the rain, and I was like, "Are you having fun in the rain?" He was like, "I'm having a blast. Let's just do
Let's
our
just go with
thing.
it.
Let's just go with it. Let's have fun." And this is something that I tell them all the time. And this is, if you ever ask any of them, and I hope you do at some point of your podcast. Um, the most important question when we get together is, "What's your favorite music?" Because I want you to flow. I want you to, like, I tell them about the photo shoot, what more or less we're gonna do. This is what I think, and I hear them what
Hmm.
what they expect to do, but then, before we start shooting, I always tell them, like, wait, the most important question: What's your favorite music? I want you to enjoy yourself, and they all go
And you
like,
play that music during the photo shoot?
their music, and they flow better, and I learned something new, because there are
Yeah.
some artists that I don't even know, and I'm like, all right, oh, this sounds good. So you know what? I think photography has made me a more open person,
That's awesome.
learning from somebody new, learning ways of seeing life,
Hmm.
learning about their struggles, learning about their victories, learning about their I don't know, their highs and lows. And their I don't know. I think I become richer as a person, because I have all these points of view of the same issues of photography, and it's just it's a beautiful thing to do. I
Yeah.
feel very fortunate to be doing this.
So let's change subjects just a little bit. So art that involves nudity
Right.
is kind of often misunderstood, especially if it's male nudity.
Right.
Have you have you ever faced censorship or rejection from your work? And what was that like? How did you handle it?
Rejection, yes, because it can be seen as porn. It can be seen as as beautiful, as exciting, or as nasty and disgusting. I mean, by the way, because I have to tell you something good. I was banned by the government of Pakistan in YouTube, because I have a YouTube channel with it says, it's called The Naked Project. Everyone, you can go follow it. It's beautiful. And I show clips of like the behind the scenes of the photo shoot. And I remember I got this message, this email one morning. It said, "You have been banned by the government of Pakistan." And you know what? You know what? I felt so proud of myself, so proud of myself, because I don't see it as rejection. I
Hmm.
see as my work is getting seen, is being seen by people,
Clearly, it was getting
and they
seen
have
in
an
Pakistan.
opinion, and they have
Yeah,
an opinion, and they like it and they don't like it. And you know what? All those opinions, I fucking love them. When people are like, "This shit is porn," you know what? But you're looking at it. You are looking at it.
yep.
This shit is beautiful. This I don't know, shows so much love, and perfect. You're looking at it and you're learning something from it, and you're being uncomfortable with it, or you're being horny with it, and you're being, I love that. I love
Art
because
should make you feel something, whether it's a good expression
exactly,
emotion or a bad emotion.
exactly. But it has to make you feel something. I think
Yeah.
that's the key with art. With any art, it has to make you feel inspired or sad, or it has to give you an emotion. I mean, and I think then again, when I see people commenting or sending me hate, I love a good hater. I love a good hater. I love them, because I'm like, but you see my work.
But
You
you're
were
looking.
there. You were there watching for 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 5 videos, and you made this crazy comment. But you're watching this. You're
But you're
appreciating
watching
it.
it.
At some
Hmm.
point, it's touching your fiber as a person. It's making you feel, maybe because people when people tell you something about, at least it happens to me, when people tell me something about my work, it's because it has something to do with them.
Yep.
Maybe they feel insecure, or maybe they feel secure, or maybe they feel like it's romantic, so they feel like, and you see them because maybe they are a romantic, or maybe it's so, yeah. I don't see it
Well,
as,
maybe they're seeing that you're showing that vulnerability,
yeah,
and they know that there's a vulnerability in themselves that they're ashamed to let go, and they're
exactly.
reacting to that.
Exactly. And you know
Yeah.
what? Then again, I don't feel like my work has been rejected. Yes, I mean, sometimes I wish it was like I was like, well, sometimes I think, Alberto, maybe you chose like the harder path, but you know what? It's very rewarding for me. And
That's all that matters.
it's all that matters to me. It's all that matters to me. It's so yeah, if I feel rejected, well, I think, you know what? After I was selected for the Museum of Contemporary Art, I was like, you know what? No, I think that was a big win for me of getting my
The
work.
haters can hate, but you've hung your pictures in the
Hey,
Museum of
but
Contemporary
who's in
Art.
the museum now? Yeah,
So I think every artist, myself included, has moments of doubt, a little voice inside their head that says maybe this isn't going to work. Are you sure this is what you want to do? Was there ever a time where you questioned the Naked Project and whether or not it was worth it, and how did you push through that?
Interesting question. Because sometimes I stop using the camera for a few months. I have
Mm-hmm.
to say, because maybe I don't feel like I'm doing something new. Sometimes I feel like I need to evolve, but I don't
Mm-hmm.
know where to go. Honestly, I don't know where to go. So I just look for inspiration. I buy books. I'm always researching for new books and new ideas and stuff. And there again, I don't touch the camera for months. But quitting, not really. But I've taken some time. Like when I feel like it feels like a job, I stop.
Yeah.
When there's a sense of pressure that tells me, you have to. No, I stop. I stop. When I have a because I tend to work and I like working, so I put it in my schedule and this and that. When it starts becoming like a little jobby, I'm like, yeah, that this is not what it's meant for. Therefore, I'm going to stop for a few weeks or a few months, and I'm just going to take some time out to
Take a
look for
break.
inspiration. Yeah, take a break,
Yeah.
and then when I come back to it, it's like, all right, let's go. So yeah, but quitting, no, because I see it as I see it as my escape. Photography has been a very good escape for me and a very good therapy for me. So it's like I'm addicted to it. I can't. I don't even know how I managed to be without photography, until I discovered it. I was like, who was I
You
before?
didn't know you missed it until
Yeah, I was like,
you
what was I
needed it.
doing before? Like, what?
Yeah.
How could I live like this? So yeah, I don't know. Did that answer your question?
Yeah. No, absolutely. So let's look to the future a little bit.
Right.
Imagine it's 10 years from now and the Naked Project has kind of made its full impact that you expected it to do.
Oh my
What does
gosh.
that look like? What has changed? What is the goal with the Naked Project? What do you want it to be in 10 years?
You know what? I think the only message that I really want to send out to people listening to this, maybe in 10 years, maybe 5 years, whatever, but I want people to just feel like more connected to their vulnerable side. You know what I mean? Be a little more kind to themselves, to their bodies, to respect their bodies, to be good with themselves. You know what I mean? Like,
Uh-huh.
um, I think we're living in a time where you have, I don't know, there's a lot of stuff going on. I mean, a lot of
Tell
stuff
me.
going on everywhere. So I think the only temple that we do have that's secure, it's ourselves. So we have to really take care of ourselves, how we speak to ourselves and stuff. So I think the message is to, you know, I don't know, just be kind to yourself. Be a little more, be in touch with your vulnerable side. It's okay
I
to
love
be
that.
vulnerable. It's okay to be vulnerable, to feel. It's okay to cry. It's okay to be hard sometimes. It's okay. Like feel your feelings.
Hmm.
Your feelings are valid, and yeah, sometimes it's hard. Sometimes you're going on a good ride. Sometimes it's fucking shitty. But hey, you know what I mean? I think and another thing is like you only live once. You know what I mean? Because that's why I made I don't see it as a bold decision now, but at the moment, it's like, oh, I'm gonna do nude photography. I was like, I only live fucking once. Like, you know what I mean? Like, who after I'm dead, who's gonna care? No one. I'm alive right now. I want to do it now. I don't want to do landscape. I don't want to do fashion. I don't want to do any of that because it doesn't fulfill me. I want to do nude because it gives me a rush. So live your life. Live your life. No, we're alive. We're
We're alive
alive.
now.
Yeah,
Live it
we're
the way
like
you want it.
now. Do it now. Have fun now. Go do that. Do the trips that you want to do. Take the photos that you want to take. Lose sometimes. Win sometimes. It's just live the experience of life. It's now. It's at this moment. As I'm recording this podcast with you, I am alive. I am living.
I,
Feel it. You have to feel it. You have to give it your
yeah.
all. Fuck it. Yeah.
Is there a dream project that you haven't done yet?
Oh, many. A bunch. A bunch.
Do they
But
also
sometimes,
include nudes?
huh?
Do they also include nudes?
They all I only do nudes. I
There you
mean,
go.
when people go like, "Oh, can you do my quinceañeras?" I'm like, "Excuse me, I don't even no." How disrespectful is that? I only do nudes. If everybody's gonna be naked, then for sure. But you know, uh, I only touch my camera to do nudes. I mean, I'm I'm monogamous
With
with
nudes.
nudes. I mean, I don't want to have an open relationship, only nudes. So yeah, I have many projects, but they all involve nudity.
That's
All of
awesome.
them. Maybe start shooting female nudes will be interesting. Maybe yeah, but I'm still, You know what? I'm good with men. I'm good
I
with men
am
and
too.
my many lovers.
So one last question, and then I have a series of quick fire questions we're going
Okay,
to go through. What advice would you give queer artists who might be starting out in their career to encourage them?
do it, do it. You know what? You're gonna fail. You're gonna fuck up, but you're gonna do it all wrong. But do it, do it. Do not
I
fear.
love that.
Do it because eventually you're gonna get it. Eventually you're gonna start up. But I think it comes from within, so you have to believe it. Oh well, and I'm gonna address something that I said in the beginning. My name is Jesus Alberto Suarez Leon, but the moment I decided to become a photographer, I was like, my name from now on is Alberto Leon. And every time, even when I didn't, even when I did a camera, I would say, "Oh, I'm a photographer." I will introduce myself as a photographer. I'm a photographer. I'm a photographer. I'm a photographer. So I started believing it in my head. I'm a photographer. And I am a photographer right now. But
Absolutely.
it takes your own convincing, your own work for you to be able to just start. Just start. You know,
Just start and believe
start.
in yourself.
Start. It's gonna come at first. It's gonna look like shit. Maybe at some point you're gonna get it right. You're gonna find your way. You're gonna find. I mean, and you always just do it.
All right. Thank you for that. So as we wrap up, I have a little tradition on Art in the Raw inspired by Inside the Actor Studio. And these final 10 questions are my way of peeking into the artistic soul.
Oh
So you
wow.
ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
All right, here we go. What is your favorite artistic medium or tool?
I have no idea.
Camera, maybe?
Well, of course. Yeah. Well, camera. Yeah.
What artistic trend or cliche do you wish would disappear?
That art only comes from the female body, and I think I've proven that wrong.
I
And
think you
yeah,
have.
Mr. Sagami, fuck out of here.
What fuels your creativity the most?
Hater fuel. Hater fuel. I love it.
Encourages you to keep going.
So keep going. I think I'm going. I think I'm just doing the right thing by doing that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? When people
You
question,
you you got a reaction out of them,
I get
and
a
that's
reaction, and I
that's what you.
love getting a reaction out of people when it comes to my photography.
What sound or noise instantly inspires you?
What? What?
What sound or noise instantly inspires you?
I would say honestly, silence. I don't know if it's a sound, but silence really inspires me when
Hmm.
I because it's that's when my ideas sink in like a wave.
What
Silence.
sound or noise completely kills your focus?
Horns.
Car
Honks.
horns, honking.
Hunk. Yeah, honking. I hate that.
What is your favorite word or phrase to include in your work, literally or metaphorically?
Men.
If you could see any queer artists, living or dead, honored with a major public monument, who would it be?
You know what? Florian Hetz. He's a
Mm,
photographer.
uh-huh.
He's a German photographer,
I
and
love his work.
I love his work. I am obsessed with his work. And I just had a conversation with him a few days ago.
Oh, wow.
He started noticing me because my ex-husband went on a date with him in Germany and he sent me a picture. He was like, look who I'm with.
You've been noticed by Florian Hetz, my friend. You
No,
have
you know
made it.
what? I have a picture and I am going to show it because I'm proud of it. Thank you
You
to my
should.
ex-husband.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
That's my ex-husband. And so my ex-husband went out of his way and he was like, I talked about you and your photography for 3 hours on a date with Florian. I don't know what.
Wow.
I was like, perfect. So yeah, I think
Clutch pearls, girl. Clutch
yes,
pearls.
yes. So Florian, it's everything to me.
What is one profession or creative field you could never see yourself in?
Pottery or something like that.
Pottery.
Yeah.
If your art could take on a life of its own, what form would it take?
I would like to see my work published, like in a book or something like. I
Uh-huh.
love books. I love photography books, and I would love to see it published. But maybe after I'm dead. You know what I mean? Like, oh, this like in loving memory of Alberto Leon. Who
Uh,
did a bunch of nudes and stuff.
hopefully, no
Uh,
time soon.
uh
Hopefully, that won't happen soon.
yeah, that won't happen soon. So yeah, I don't know. Or maybe I should get on and make a book. I have no idea, but I'll do something with it. That's a project that I have.
So, speaking of the afterlife, our last question. If an afterlife exists, what do you hope your art says about you to those who find it?
That you should live. That you should live now in the moment. You should be bold. If you think your idea maybe sucky, just try it, do it. And it's if you believe in yourself, that's gonna take you in a beautiful path. At least for me in photography, I think photography saved my life, and I always say that. I think it saved me from, I don't know, depressions, or it saved me from being anxious. Every time I take a photo, every time I take out my camera and work with my camera, I feel such a mental relief that it's like therapy for me. It's therapeutic. So I think,
Hmm.
you know what, just do it. And I think photography saved my life for sure. For sure. For sure.
Well, I hope that you have inspired some of our listeners to live their life, to just do it, go out there, do your work, and make it happen.
Make it happen.
Alberto Leon, thank you for joining me. I really appreciate this.
Thank you, David, for your beautiful presence, your beautiful questions, your this for this space.
Thanks for listening or watching. If you love this show, be sure to subscribe and leave a review. It helps us bring more visibility to queer artists and their work. And check out our website at salonnatural.art for more queer art events and discussions.